Goldcrest Valley greetings to episode number 46, Forestry with Trains, with me, MrSealyp. Here's the plan for this episode. I'm going to cut trees, forestry, and I'm going to load them onto the train and take them around and unload them using the crane. That's the theory. We'll see how that works. I've still got one of the workers ploughing field 17. 21's now done. Once that's ploughed, then I'm going to seed field 17. But in the meantime, I've got the telehandler over here, the Manitou, Scorpionking. I'm going to cut some trees. I've got it set to 8 metres. I'm going to cut them to 8 metre lengths and put them on. This is just a trial run. I'm not even, I'm not thinking to myself, I need to make money, it's going to be good, or, I'm just having a go. See how we get on with this. Now, with the forestry we've done before, you don't need the Scorpionking, you don't need the Sampo Rosennew. You can do this with a chainsaw. It really doesn't have to be anything fancy. But I'm just giving it a go and see how we get on. I have got the manure fork on the telehandler. As I've said before, I just find it easier for picking stuff up. That's my own personal preference. It's not the done thing, it's not right, it's, whatever. But it works for me, and I kind of stick with it. Let's come back a little bit, I think. As low as I can go. There we go. Probably damaging the tracks, in all honesty. Now, as with the timber runner, if you overload the timber runner, what happened there? Oh, that's great. What the? No, what? There we go. Okay, that's a bit better. Yeah, if you overload the timber runner, even with the straps on, it tends to get a little bit wobbly. It doesn't like it very much. So, this is handy. Well, this is a good start, isn't it? Let's be honest. Bear with me. That's very loud. See if this works. Jump in here. Start the engine. Open that up. See if I can maybe grab it in and try and move it. What is going on with this? This is really strange. Well, I got it free. It wasn't elegant. It involved driving the Scorpionking round and round in circles very quickly until it flew out. Like I say, not elegant, not interesting. Well, it was probably interesting to watch. Amusing to watch, possibly. I didn't think so, but anyway. Right, let's extend this out. And pop this over. Like I say, I haven't picked these up particularly well. I didn't say that, but I haven't, so... Not quite sure how much I get in this. Quite a lot, I would imagine. Let's give that a bit of a nudge. There we go. Seemed a lot wider than the timber runner, so I'm assuming I'm going to get a few logs on here. Right, and so the process begins. Bring that in. Helper G has completed their task. That'll be the ploughing in field 17. I would imagine there was the offending log from earlier. Now, if this is going to be a glitchy log, I'm not even too sure it's going to pick up properly, but we'll see. Oh, there we go. It's behaving now. Probably loading this across the tracks is not the best idea. It's incredibly bouncy. There we go. Yeah, this is going to take quite a few logs. Okay. Pop that down. I'll spend a bit of time cutting some logs, and what we'll do is cut backwards and forwards between me cutting some, loading them, and then we'll get around to unloading at the other end. That's probably the best bet, I think. I popped over to field 17 just to check on the ploughing, make sure it was going fine. I've done a bit of fiddling around again. I've increased the size of field 17. I've ploughed out to the right here a little bit. I've ploughed up a little further on the other side and made the diagonal a little bit smaller. So technically the field's a bit bigger. How well the worker's going to cope with doing that, I don't know. But I thought I'd have a go while I was over here. Why not? I kind of did it a lot on 15, fiddled around with fields and changed the shapes and sizes and ploughed new bits and that kind of thing. So why not? If I've got the space here, I might as well make the field a little bit bigger. Even if it only increases the yield by a little bit, it will still increase the yield. Worker seems to be going all right at the moment. I'll come back and check on him in a bit. I'll be honest, looking at this is going to take a lot more lumber than I thought it was going to. In my head I had it was the same kind of size as the timber on a trailer, but it really isn't. This is going to be interesting. It's better try and at least lay them all as straight as I can. As you can see, I've been a little bit busier, just cutting down a whole load. And then go from there. It's not as easy as I thought it was going to be because I'm not always quite straight on, but I'm getting there. Just try and give them a bit of a shove. That's better. Then scoop it up. There we go. That's better. That's over the train tracks, probably not the best place. But it is working. There we go. Then pull this to one side. That's probably going to be the last of the trees, in all honesty. So I'll turn that off. And jump out. Go and get the telehandler. Yeah, we're not far off full now. And I'll strap it, but I should be able to get some more in. Just to make sure I'm taking the maximum over. Why do I keep zooming that right out? I'm not quite sure. I'm terrible at doing this in cab. But I'll give it a go. Let's open that right out. Close that up. Okay. Now see where I'm actually dropping them. That's going to be a bit harder. I'll have to come out of cab for this bit. Yes, that would have been way off. Let's just straighten up a little bit, shall we? It was a valiant effort, but not quite good enough. Yeah, in all honesty, I'm not sure how many more I'm going to get on here. Because we are pretty close to full, I think. I'll stick a few more on. I just don't want it all going horribly wrong, you know. Which I'm sure it will. So far so good. Oh, too many in there. They're doing that weird vibration thing. Get them in as... There we go. That's when they vibrate. There's the computer or the console, whatever you want to call it, can't cope with what I've put in it, and it kind of either blends them all together. Two should be right. Bit of a wobble, but not too bad. Or it flings them out. It just means you've got too much in there at once. I was hoping to get all these logs on. I don't want to leave any behind, really. But this is actually looking pretty full. Just tip that in there. Yeah, this is looking pretty full, isn't it? So I don't know if the straps are going to go over all of that. I hope so. I really, really do. Okay. We're starting to get a little bit glitchy over by the train, because I think the amount of logs in there, it's just struggling to deal with it all. I can always come back and get a few more. Even if I do it off screen, I can do a few more. Oh, right off the ground. That's brilliant. That was sarcasm. I don't mean brilliant, as in it's really, really cool. That was just, I'm being an idiot. Right, this one I'm going to go all the way around, I think, because they all seem to be angled one way. Just to make sure I'm kind of balancing the load. Oh, without tipping this whole thing up. Or losing them all out would be even worse, wouldn't it? There we go. Let's try and do this, shall we? Yes, making a colossal cock up of it as usual. That looks a bit better. It's just too far over. Okay. That's better. It just seems to be balancing the load out a little bit, I think. I might get those last couple on. Let's see. And that is it. Loaded. Let's put the boom down. Turn that off. And jump out. Okay, let's strap this up, shall we? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it didn't go through all of them. Hopefully it's locked them all in place. Let's jump into the train. And go all the way around. Now that was the easy bit. Now comes the slightly less fun bit. Should go past field 17 that I've just extended. It did work. The worker did manage to plant it. So I've got soybean in there now. Just coming up on the left. So it's slightly squarer now. Slow down now to come into the offload point. So it's going to be interesting. Try and line it up if I can. That should be okay. About there. Stop the engine. And jump out. I'm incredibly nervous now. Okay. Let's go to the crane, shall we? Ah. What's that? Oh, never mind. Okay. Enter. Okay, in-cab view. Yeah, quite limited. Okay. Right, what I have worked out on the PlayStation controller, because of the way the controls work, if you come behind the cab and out, if I do left 1 now, it gives me the controls. So I've got my right joystick, if you want to call it that, forwards and backwards, moves the crane, fill up that bit, forwards and backwards. So from this position, it actually follows what the joystick's doing. If I go left and right, it takes the whole assembly left and then right. So from this position, it kind of follows the direction. It makes it a little bit easier to kind of get your head round. So if I bring that right the way across now to about halfway, you know what I've forgotten to do, just realised, that's annoying, is the straps. But anyway, I'll just show this bit first of all. So if I go forwards and backwards, I'm moving the whole assembly, not the whole assembly, the crane assembly, forwards and backwards. Left and right takes the whole assembly left and right. If I then do right 1, shoulder button, that takes the whole thing up and down. Same thing again, from where I am, forwards, down, backwards, up, which kind of makes sense. So from this position, the controls work really well. If I swing round or go on top or any other direction, the controls become more complicated to operate because they're not as they are on the controller, if that kind of makes sense. Anyway, what I will do very, very quickly is jump out under the straps and then we'll go from there. And they've all started moving. Don't know why. Okay. So this is where it gets a bit more interesting. If I go directly on top, this might help. It might not. So left 1, forwards, needs to be direct. It's hard to see directly over. Okay. And then side to side will bring me kind of level, I hope. Now, right 1 brings it down. But it's not quite wide enough, I don't think, to go over. Oh, it might be. Let's have a look. Am I over? Oh, that should be right. Let's see how we get on. Now, to close it, left 1 and right 1 together. And then, well, mind you, that's doing that, isn't it? Oh, come on. it should then close up and grab a load. It's all going to fall out, isn't it? I can't get the feeling it's going to fall out. Anyway, so hopefully if I go up with this, it's not all going to fall out. Well, not all of it has, that's okay. Now if I swing it back round to the position here that I want it in, kind of want it in, if I do my left shoulder button and then bring the whole assembly this way now, it should come over the sail point. It's already dropping some, there we go. That's helpful. And then down. Alright. Certainly is an interesting control system. It's going to take me a while to unload this, that much I do know. So if I take that forward, it's making sure I'm in the right position. So I need to be about halfway. The problem is, halfway is right directly where that pillar is on the actual carriage, which is annoying. If you want it to be halfway, you really want there to be a gap there. That's not going to make life easy. Anyway, lift that back up. Left and right together. Open that out. It's hard because it's registering some of the controls all at the same time. That's really weird. Why is it doing that? Okay, let's try this again then. Let's go down onto the load. Why is it not closing up though? Left and right. Because it's actually still moving the crane for some reason. I don't want to move the crane. If I do left and right together, that should stop that happening, but it's not. It's still moving the crane. That's really weird. Right, that should be a bit better. Oh, let's see how we get on anyway. So that one, then go up. Still got them falling out all over the place. This is absolutely rubbish. I'm not impressed with this at all. Right, bring this over this way. I would imagine there are people out there that are absolutely awesome with this. I'm just not one of them. I don't get this. That will close right up, but it won't when I try and do it over a bundle of logs. Why is that? Am I trying to do too many logs at once, maybe? Possibly. So let's go back across again. And carry on. Right, let's drop that down. Maybe I'm just trying to gather too many up. It's not closing properly. I don't know why. That's a bit better. Maybe I was just trying to take too many. Okay, so let's bring that back across to where it needs to be. About right, isn't it? Okay, so lower this down. If I just open this now. Okay, right, let's go up now. This is appalling. Oh dear. Okay, well, you know, you live and learn. What I've learned from this is I'm not going to be doing it again. Not in a hurry anyway. The money's not too bad though, I'll be honest. Made more than I thought I would. I wonder Is this paying more in here than it pays if you sell it in the normal sell point then? It's interesting. Don't know if it is actually. Maybe it is. Tell me I've done a really good job on that one. It's like a miracle. Okay, I take that back. They all just decided to fall out. Brilliant. I think it's the PlayStation controller's not helping because it's just the actual joystick is responsible. The right joystick is responsible for all the movement. Left and right shoulder buttons, but the left and right shoulder buttons don't seem to be locking out each set of controls. If I press left shoulder button, it should do those controls. Right shoulder button, that control. Left and right together, that control. But it seems to be, it doesn't matter which combination you press, it's not locking out each individual set. So it's kind of doing it all and moving and opening and closing all at the same time, which is not very good. When I say it's not very good, I mean, it's just awkward and, you know, it's just difficult to use. It seems an overly complicated system, you know. I assume they've tried to make it as simplified as possible, but it just seems to be really awkward, you know. And that's now got caught. Great. So with the left one pressed now, yeah, right, I can go that way, up, forward and backwards. But then when I press left and right together, which should only open and close that grab, it's moving the whole crane arm as well. That will close like that. As soon as you get to logs, it doesn't seem to want to know. I see what I mean. This is... Come on. You've got to be kidding me. Right. So, right one now, drop it down. Oh, stop moving side to side. This should just be opening and closing. What have I still got one on there? Oh, come on. Give me a break, will you? So there you have it. If you wanted to see the most painful unloading of a log carriage car, not a carriage, is it? It's a carriage sounds people. Train car, whatever you call it. Let's open that up. No, open. And there we go. Job done. I'm now going to take the crane back to its position so I can actually get out of it. Where are the stairs? All over here. Bring the crane up. Close it. Actually, if I leave it open, if I ever wanted to do any more, I could. If I wanted to, which I probably won't. Okay. Whew. Oh, well, that was different. Oh no, you're kidding me. They're too big to pick up, aren't they? So I'll have to use the crane now and just roll them in. You don't want to see that. It'll be ghastly. So, I have made some money. I can't remember what I was on when I started, before I started unloading. That amount will pop up on the screen now. There we go. Did alright, didn't I? Anyway, 234,000. I'm sure I was only on 202 or 201 or something like that. So, yeah. Not bad. Not pretty. But it's done. I'm going to take the train back. And I'm just thinking, depends how long it's taken me, and with all the editing, whether or not this is going to be the end of the episode or not. I will let you know if it is. For the meantime, I'm going to take this back. Enjoy the scenery as we go, as we often do on these picturesque train journeys. I'm going to do this because I do like doing it. Remembering to slow down because actually it's only just here, isn't it? I think what I will do is line up the grain car ready if I don't hit my own head on that crane. There we go. Slow down enough. Because I think I'm going to be doing soybeans at some point soon, which normally, well at least even if it's not, that Maplefield mill normally does a good price. So anyway, turn that off, jump out, and all my equipment I will now pack away. So it is as I suspected. It is the end of the episode. Just been having a quick look through, doing a bit of editing, getting ready to put the video together. And we are at the end. It's been an eventful episode. Haven't done that kind of logging forestry with the train before. Not likely to do it again for a while because I'm not particularly good at it, but that being said, had a go. Never done it before. Interesting way of doing it. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share the video, be my guest. I am on Facebook too under MrSealyp, with screenshots and the links to my YouTube clips appearing on there regularly. That's it from me for this episode. Lots of things going on, harvesting and whatever. Will be ready for probably the next episode or two, as things all seem to be moving along quite steadily. I need to check on the animals and make sure they're all okay and don't need feeding and straw and water and that kind of stuff, which some of which I will do off screen. I will continue with my obsession, that's probably the best word, with contracting and a few other bits and bobs like wood chipping here and there. Whatever of the options you should choose to do, as always on my videos. Thanks for watching.